can you talk a bit about this plan to open a treatment center in Palm Springs? What kind of support are you hoping to provide? And what has that journey been like, turning an idea like that into a reality?
Yeah, what's really, I think, beautiful, and I was just talking to my daughter Mina about this yesterday, because I think as a family we're all creatives. My husband was in music,
Yeah.
both Mina and Sly are in music and acting, and me being an actress director. We approach things with kind of we have goals, but we're not so set in like, this is what needs to happen and these are the steps that need to happen, and we leave
Yeah.
ourselves open to really great opportunities coming our way, and then going with it. It's like the path of, you know, least resistance kind of idea where, okay, there's these inspiring things that are opening up these opportunities for us. So we've always had these big overall goals. One was just starting a foundation, period. And
Yeah.
so when my son was going through a really deep psychosis and manic episode in 2021, that really made us go, okay, we gotta start a foundation. Even though we're going through the thick of it as a family, we need to do something because we
Hmm.
saw 10 years after his initial diagnosis that the mental health care system was worse 10 years later. So we're like, okay, we gotta start the foundation and start doing what we can. And then we immediately created a crisis intervention scholarship fund to provide funds for somebody that needs primary mental health care treatment and are either
Hmm.
uninsured or don't have the funds so that they can get help. And we've been able to help over 30 individuals in the last couple of years get
Which
treatment,
is
positive
incredible.
treatment. And then when it was just the summer of this last year, we always have this like, one day we want to do this, one day we want to do that. And
Of course.
through experience, lots of experience, we just feel passionate about opening our own treatment campus. And so a really big California grant came available. We knew it was going to come available, so we started assembling a team in May. And then by July, I believe they announced it. And we identified a building in Palm Springs. It's the old Desert Sun building, um, which is a big publication in the desert. And just because of things not going to actual print, the printing press has closed down and they have an online thing.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful building and an incredible block, and we're going to turn that into an overall treatment campus, and it'll bring you all the way through all levels of care. So all the way from crisis to stabilization, sobering center, detox, all of those crisis level of treatment, which is so needed because we have very few psychiatric
Yeah.
hospitals. And if you're lucky enough to get into one when you're in crisis, you're discharged way too soon because they're over
Right. It's
capacity.
like,
Yeah, and they're turning beds over because they want to get the biggest insurance uh
hmm,
that
of
they
course.
can, unfortunately. Um so we want to be that stopgap. So
Hmm.
you may be you're not in you don't need as acute care as a psychiatric hospital, but you can come into our crisis center and we can stabilize you and then fold into residential level, or you may just be ready for residential and you're not in crisis. And then have that be a very long-term approach, and then all the way out to supportive services to help you beyond your year of treatment or whatever that might look like. So this very like inclusive, um, and that we're going to help with vocational skills, nutrition education,
Hmm.
all of the add-on therapies that are people are seeing, really great improvements with that may not be in just your primary care residential level.
Yeah.
So we have this just dream of this overall, all-inclusive mental health care for all. And if you come to our doors and meet medical criteria, we're going to be able to sign you up to Medi-Cal, and we won't have to turn people away for financial reasons.
Hmm.
So it's a nonprofit wellness campus. So
And how is that process going? I mean,
It's
now
going
that
great.
we are
Yeah, it's
good.
going. We have an amazing team assembled. We've applied for our big grant. We'll learn at the end of May that we have been
Okay.
awarded. Knock on wood.
Right. I got plenty of
Um,
it.
right? Yeah. But we're also looking at building out a research component to our campus because we'll be able to treat over 460 people at a time, which
Okay.
creates an amazing population of people to really show what medications are working for what diagnosis, what therapies
Mm,
are working. And so there'll be this really beautiful opportunity for research alongside this program. So we've already we're in agreement with buying the building, so we've locked that down. And our upcoming gala, March 8th, is really focused on raising those funds because we need to come up with 10% match money
okay.
to well, to qualify for the grant. So once we're awarded, we need to make sure we have our match money.